The Acolyte, the one where I'm really not sure how he's alive. She already swung and missed him with the blue lightsaber once. And again. Third time's the charm. I don't even know how she missed with the last one. How small are your arms, love? Oh, don't worry, I got you, bro. We get lightsaber haircuts. Hairdressing, folks. Seriously, that thing can melt through doors, but won't set your hair on fire. How does it know? This is how you can tell the show is just made for women. New boy, new hair, new me. Oh, this is the lightsaber episode where he takes on about 8 Jedi at the same time. And yet gets his ass kicked by one insufferable girl boss. She's a Padawan, they're Jedi Knights.
Make it make sense.
But don't worry, after saying this in the last episode, we get so many hints that Ezra Miller is the Sith.
It's impossible. It's not impossible.
That at this point, if he isn't, they're just deliberately lying to you so they can have a twist come out of nowhere. There's no point in doing a reveal. As for that to make sense, either the audience would have to be thick, or the writers. Well, I guess we answered that one. And for the people trying to defend the prequel clip,
The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
well, that gets shot to pieces as well.
But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
Although this is still my favorite moment out of any Star Wars. You could sell me a product with that clip.
I'm loving it.
Carlsberg don't do flatmates, but if we did, they'd probably be the best flatmates in the world.
We wake up with Osha, who's a dirty girl, because she got thrown through a forest. Get your mind out of the gutter. And obviously, after she's seen a Sith Lord attack all of her friends, she only has one thing on her mind.
Pip?
It's not them. All my friends are dying, but come on, where's my PS5? She's got the priorities of a Zoomer trying to go pro in Overwatch. She finds a droid a short way over though, and quite frankly, I'm surprised she didn't rip his head off again.
You're alright.
What about all of your friends? You can buy another mobile phone, who cares? In the distance though, she can hear lightsaber noises and see weird flashing lights in the distance. Train Jedi, everybody. At this point, I'm surprised she's not blonde. She does have their ability to trip over invisible objects. At that moment, though, she gets a jump scare as she witnesses something which has always horrified her. A man! The patriarchy!
Outside of the confines of heteronormativity, misogyny, and racism.
It's thug life.
Now, despite all this, she's not moving very quickly. We can very obviously hear lightsaber noises, but for some reason, she's not paying attention to them, despite them being about 10 foot away from her. I'm sorry, but if I saw a lightsaber fight, I wouldn't be looking over in that direction. Look, I know that's interesting, but what's going on over here? Ooh, look like a parrot's trying to eat a berry. What follows next is, quite frankly, well, it's just bad television. And it was made badly, deliberately. I mean, look at this. Do you have any idea what you just watched? Because I don't, and I've seen it multiple times. That would have looked exactly the same if it was a load of drunken people at a music concert, just waving fluorescent tubes in the air. I'd love to see this, but there's a load of trees in the way. And we know why the trees are there, because it hides bad choreography. And yes, later in the episode, you do get to actually see the fights, but this comes across as there's multiple people fighting, and so we're going to put trees there to hide the fact that they're just waiting. Like Batman villains in a game. Now, I'm not going to pick apart all the choreography, because if you pause these fights, yeah, they always look awful. There is a problem, though. Just count the people that he walks past. Where did they all go? In this group fight, they have a problem with object permanence and the fact that if his attention isn't on them, they cease to exist. He's one guy versus 8, and yet all of them are like, well, we are Jedi. We need to be nice to each other. I wouldn't want to hit him in the back. That'd be unsportsmanly. Oh, is it my turn to die now? Thank you. So as you can see, this guy outclasses all of them. Not a bit. Easily. He's taking on 8 of them, and he's not even challenged. So this guy, massively powerful Sith Lord that no one can stand against him. We better remember that for later.
Make it make sense.
But she's got 2 lightsabers. They've got 8. That guy's really lucky, though. He'll survive that. Now, I'm not going to go through all the fights. Just assume that many times it's very obvious that no one's hitting anyone deliberately. And I still don't know why she's walking towards them. What are you gonna do? I could change the royal. But then we get the biggest issue with it. Yeah, apparently he can just hit a lightsaber and they stop working now. And this is kind of the issue, right? He'll hit her, turn around, and she could just spear him through the back right now. She doesn't. Anytime this guy's fighting more than one person, he should die. He just doesn't because nobody wants to hit him in the back of the face. But he smashes her lightsaber with his hand. Some people are saying that's law. I think it's stupid. And then, as the other guy goes to attack, he just headbutts his lightsaber and I'm like, oh no, I've got no weapon. If you've got no weapon, you should be dead then, shouldn't you? I wouldn't just headbutt your lightsaber. I'd headbutt and attack at the same time. Because they're going to block you. Suddenly they don't have a lightsaber anymore. Not that it matters. He's vastly superior to all of them anyway. The dark side really is more powerful, it seems. Either way, rather than attacking the guy whose lightsaber he's just got rid of, he turns around to attack the one behind him for some reason no one quite work out yet, and gets saved by Yord. This is about all Yord is capable of doing. He's been a weak, pathetic, useless punch bag the entire series, and that's not going to change now. He's like, ta-da, I've saved her. They're just going to stand there for about 5 seconds, not doing anything. Just run your saber down the other end into their face. Literally, just tilt your lightsaber. You'll win. So their lightsabers don't work, and I don't know what's happening. Nor did I. It's a beam of plasma. This is retarded. He takes down Yord, somehow, without cutting his leg off. No, he's just singed the skin a little bit. And does he finish him off here? No, instead, he waits for them to get their lightsabers back. That was lucky. He had plenty of time just to go, oop. And somehow he's fighting them instantaneously. I'm like, what? Surely he's just going to cut this guy in half on the left, right? No. So now he's going to swing. What? Why did the guy who was behind him not swing his lightsaber around? Instead, how somehow he managed to get kicked? Look, I know I said I wasn't going to break down the thing, but how on earth does this guy with this lightsaber not just hit him? He's literally standing there, holding it, waiting until he turns around and then he gets kicked. After that, though, green lightsaber dies. Quite frankly, after his performance, he had it coming. I think that one had it coming as well, let's be honest. We could all see the attack he was going to do. The thing is, he then pulls another guy onto that lightsaber. Now, at this point, I'm not sure how the first one is standing up. Maybe he's holding them there with the Force. So both of them would have survived that as he pulls it out cleanly. Unfortunately, he does behead them behind a cleverly placed tree. So at least we know this guy has watched Ahsoka. It's probably what made him turn evil, to be honest. Osha, though, she's got a gun. And they're better than lightsabers, let's be honest. I've got a lightsaber. Let's block this. So as he's going over to finish the Yord Horde, because nobody really knows why he didn't before, my prediction from the last episode comes true. In that just as he's about to finish off Yord, she hits him. It does nothing. Does distract him. And this is what I said last time.
Afraid I'm going to have to insist that you hand it over.
In the future, she'll save him because she's got that, and she'll be like, huh, good job you didn't take it off me, because otherwise that scene had absolutely no purpose. This show is so obvious. You just think what humiliates the men the most and go with that. It's a good job that you didn't take it from him. This is why you need to empower the women. Osha, run! I can only assume he had to yell, Osha, just so the enemy knew it wasn't May. Either way, she runs. It's like, dude, he's just taken down 8 Jedi. I'm pretty sure he can just catch you if you run. But then, over to May. She's like, how on earth am I gonna get out of this? Sees the Wookiee's lightsaber on the floor. We go back to Osha running away. Now, he catches her, and at this point, I'm thinking, just force pull, mate. You could force pull Jedi Knights. You can definitely force pull somebody who can't use the Force. Instead, no, I'm gonna be flashy. And he is definitely about to cut her face off. If it wasn't for Soul, anyway. Now, weirdly, after he deflects the lightsaber, which would just counter the momentum and it'd go over there somewhere, instead it returns to him, so he must be force pulling it, right? Means he could have just done it to Osha. Either way, we see it cut a load of trees. Just look how the trees are cut. They'd either fall that way or slide down here, right? Gravity exists. And all the trees are cut the same way. Better not fall on them when they're doing a lightsaber fight. That'd be awkward. They must be anti-grav trees. The only explanation for this is if they're force pushing the trees that way. Oh no, they'd fall on me. Now somehow Yord comes in from behind them. I don't know how. Everyone was here. She ran away. He followed her. And somehow Yord came from this direction when he was over here. In the Acolyte, time and space, it's a bit wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, spatial, foldy. But Soul tells them to run civilian to the ship.
Civilian to the ship.
That's what I said. These two have a fight, but first, the guy has to go... What are you, a dog, mate? Why is he whistling at me? And Osha's telling Yord, we have to go back! I'm like, hang on, we've just spent the last 5 minutes running. If you'd want to go back, why did you leave in the first place? No, I want to run away to a safe distance and then feign that I think we should go back, just so I don't seem like a coward you do, while actually not being in danger.
Soul gave me an order. I don't want to have to subdue you, but I will.
I'd like to see that. Not just because I dislike both characters, so I don't care which one wins, but he's a bloke, I don't think he could do it. The only battle he'd stand a chance in is which hairstyle is more absorbent. Now, the conversation Soul has starts predictably stupid.
Who are you?
Dude, I'm wearing a mask specifically so you can't know who I am. Why would I just tell you? This mask hides my identity. Yeah, but who are you? If only Batman had been so easily fooled. But he's like, you don't remember me.
I sense something familiar.
Yeah, me too. It was from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Now, his comments in this are weird, and I'm assuming Soul's memories might have been changed. And I am getting more and more on the Leslye Headland's wife is a Sith train, because the only explanations for the last episode were she's evil or it's badly written. And it is difficult to tell the difference between those two. After that, the fight's fine. If you watch it without pausing, it's the same as a lot of lightsaber fights. Yes, there are issues where you're like, you could have just killed him 20 times by now, but they don't.
You carry a Jedi weapon.
It's not a Jedi weapon, he's got a Sith one. No, unironically, as I said in episode 2, these people don't know what a Sith is. I don't know how. The Jedi do know what a Sith is. Not these ones, though, no.
But you are no Jedi.
That's because I'm a Sith, you useless tart. But May leaves, and as you remember in the previous episode, she said,
what I'm going to do is surrender myself to Kelnaka.
Perfect opportunity before, and now she gets another one. We're lucky they're both short, because otherwise, there's no way she'd reach her face. And as ever in these shows, I'm all for the insufferable main characters getting kicked in the face.
Get her back here right now, so I can loofer her to death.
They have a little bit of a wrestle. And as always happens with girl fights, it's basically rolling around on the floor. I'm surprised they didn't pull each other's hair. Now remember, May has taken down Jedi Masters, and the little Padawan can overpower her with the Force. Utterly retarded. Their strength levels are whatever we need at the current moment. Either way, she gets one cuff around her.
You're under arrest for the murder of Master Indara.
What are you doing? Look, I can see there's a big empty cuff there. And I was like, what's she gonna do? Is she gonna cuff her to her other hand? Because that seems stupid. Or maybe you want to restrain her first before running your mouth.
The murderers.
Most predictable twist that anyone's ever seen coming. Considering these Jedi are meant to be modelled on cops, maybe learn something about them before you write them. You are under arrest. Oh, he's run away again. That keeps happening, that does. And I've seen more tense strength checks than I'm going to try and hold your hand and force it into a cuff.
What I'm going to do is surrender myself to Kelnaka.
Without even talking about leverage, if she wants to punch her in the face, there's no way that's hand stopping her.
The murder of Master Tobin and Master Kelnaka.
Do you want to get a hand in the cuffs before you start running your mouth? What was that? Where is she about to stab? She was never in that position. She could have not moved and you still would have missed. Either way, because she didn't restrain her, now we're in a fight to the death. Nobody knows why. I want to surrender to the Jedi. Oh, that's lucky. I want to put you in handcuffs. No, don't do that. I want to surrender. Yeah, that's what that means, love. What did you expect? No one has ever fought this much to not get arrested when they wanted to hand themselves in. It's like going to the station and then fighting everybody there. It doesn't make any sense. Now, because neither of these have dangly bits, obviously, they're both really powerful. Although she is tiny, so I doubt that took much force. They do a bit of ring around the rosies with their lightsabers, and by this point, I'm just thinking, how's he alive? The Sith easily overpowered 8 Jedi. If you wanted to set up power levels of this extreme a distance, we really should have seen it earlier. You should have had him training with all the other Jedi and just taking on massive amounts of them or something, so that we knew that they were all crap and he was so much better. Because at no point does it come across that Soul can take out 8 Jedi on his own. But Soul has a new argument for him.
You trained May. Show your face.
I've heard better though, I've got to be honest. You trained someone how to fight. Reveal your identity. Again, imagine if someone said that to Batman. You taught Robin, so now you have to show me who you are.
And let you read my thoughts.
I'm sorry. If you take off your helmet, he can read your thoughts. So you're Magneto then. Awesome.
What master hides his face from his pupil?
I don't know, maybe someone who's training someone who's going to go on dangerous missions might get captured and doesn't want his identity revealed. As happened in your own pissing show. If anything, that's actually a really logical thing in the series, and they're amazed by it. How come this makes sense? I don't understand.
You tell me.
What? He's either going, that's really stupid, you should have worked that one out, or you're hiding yourself from your pupil. Which I'm assuming it is, considering it pissed him off enough to attack him again. So all the fights continue. Out of all of them, I think theirs is probably the best. And like I say, plenty of opportunities to kill each other. Things like this. Why there? He's like, oh look, there's over your shoulder. There's off to the side of you. He didn't jab at him, he jabbed to miss him. He's not blocking him with his lightsaber, he just missed. And if you can get a kick through to touch their chest, why not the lightsaber instead? When he gets up though, the Sith is gone.
What is he, Yord?
He's a Sith! We know because he's got a red lightsaber and he's evil.
I don't know.
To be fair, you're right. It was stupid that she decided to ask Yord. What was Yord going to know? Yord's still trying to work out the difference between a male chicken and his own cock.
He doesn't follow the rules of combat, and there's no method to his movements.
It's because he's not a Jedi. He's a Sith. I don't understand. He doesn't follow the rules of the Jedi. There are always people that fell from the rules of the Jedi. This wouldn't be unusual. But it's like he gets into your head and stays there. My mum can do that. Which one?
I carried them. I created them.
Oh no. Genuinely just thought of a new worse story. If there were 3 kids, not 2. The power of 1, 2, many. The bloke was the 3rd. The Jedi on that planet had their memories changed by Leslye Headland's wife, and she took on the bloke as a Sith trainee. I hope that's not true. Some people try and guess the plot of TV series. I theorize and then pray it doesn't happen because I think of the worst ones, which is why it might happen. Eventually though, May, rather than surrendering to the Jedi like she'd planned to do in the last episode, manages to get a dagger to her. And at this point, you win. You just don't have enough leverage to get out of this situation when your arms are up here compared to theirs. Luckily though, the tiny one has a plan. I don't know how it works either. I'm not really sure what headbutting an arm is going to do, but as you go forwards, they can just drive it into you, or as you come back, they'll drive it into you. I'm not sure how she survived. Look, here's a dagger. Better move my face into it, that'll work. It does allow her to get the victory over her though, and we're supposed to think, oh, this is just like when the other one fell over at the start of the episode. Like a ring. J.D. Payne is creaming himself right now, and eventually, after running her mouth for half an hour, gets the handcuffs on. This is the Wookiee's lightsaber, how did you get this? She reaches for her own lightsaber as in comes the Sith. Now, remember, she's just a useless Padawan. She's not even a knight, and this guy has taken down about 8 knights and beats Sol, who's a Jedi Master. So she doesn't stand a chance. Except she's actually really good. Again, why are we kicking her when we could just hit her with a lightsaber?
You can learn from this, Padawan.
Yes, he's going to teach May a lesson. I don't know why. I don't even know what his plan was. He killed the Jedi to set her up so she'd get arrested by the Jedi. But now what? He wants her as an apprentice again? I don't know.
She's a loyal pupil.
She's loyal and you're not. Why is a Sith getting annoyed that his apprentice betrayed him? It's the entire point. The evil person is upset that all of his friends aren't loyal to him. Why? So at this point, he's smashed a lightsaber, he's got his lightsaber on, just cut her face off, right? I've used my magic glove of bullshit, and you're defenseless. Joke's on you, bro! I've got a second one! I picked it up 3 seconds before this fight. That was lucky. But yeah, but how'd you have the skill to do this in the first place? Do you not remember the last episode? You were twirling a stick. We really needed to see all of these people fight in the previous episodes so that we knew their power levels. And I would have asked, why is this Padawan better than all the Jedi? Look, I've got 2! That makes me twice as powerful. I really despise, I've always despised this. Guy has 1 sword and he's losing, suddenly gets 2 and he starts winning. If 2 swords is better, why not use them all of the time? But no! She is absolutely annihilating him even though she's a Padawan when May runs off during the distraction. I don't know whether that's to show that he's stronger in the Force and so he can overpower her, or just because, you know, he's a man. Thing is though, he sees May run away. What is happening? He annihilated all the other people in 3 strikes, and just because... Why is the insufferable tiny person so powerful? Unless she's an inverse Sith, and she actually gets more powerful from other people's hate. Would explain why she's impossible to stand.
I'm better company than a droid, and way more flexible.
He does, though, cut one of her lightsabers in half. Oh no, you took my power. Now I'm down to half my strength again. Thing is, after he cut a lightsaber, he didn't even finish her off, which is rude at the best of times. The camera really lingers on this lightsaber in the ground, and I'm like, that's supposed to mean something? The way they zoom in on it seems like they think it's really important. I don't get it. But as they're running along, obviously, with him using his lightsaber as a torch, as per normal, like, you need to turn it off, otherwise we'll get attacked by bats.
Turn off your saber. Do it.
Yeah, do it, Yod. I mean, you were there at the time. You saw what happened.
It attracts them.
Attracts what?
You saw it, bro. You were there.
It went straight for the saber.
Let's move.
You were with Sol when he cut it down. He heard them go, it's attracted to light. That was about 5 minutes ago. He's already forgotten. Yord is useless. It's only when he notices something on the tree and sees it for himself does he realize, oh, actually, yeah, I should take that down, shouldn't I? Typical dangly bits. It's not enough to be woman-splained to. He has to work it out for himself. A lot slower. Despite the fact this is information he already knew. Now, as May is running through the forest, we keep getting weird flashes.
Coward.
And I'm not sure whether he's sending her, like, mental messages or whether this is in her own head. Either way,
You're going to betray me.
it's a very weird and jarring way of getting the message across. Now, obviously, the way she's holding her hands like that, you can tell exactly what's going to happen.
I was weak.
You've always been weak.
You are a woman. Oh, I never saw that coming. Neither did she. Better stick my arms out so he hits it.
Been weak.
You know what I'd do if someone's clearly about to hit me with a lightsaber? Go backwards, not go, ah! Oh, please don't hit me. Thing is, though, just as is about to finish off May, which would make the episode a lot more entertaining. And given current Disney, they could have actually shown it there as well. Yes, he gets pulled back by Sol, who's now more powerful than him in the Force, I guess. Took him by surprise. Can we really nail down these rules about who can use the Force on each other and when? Yes, now Sol has the superpowered midget on his side. They're unstoppable. I mean, look, this guy can take down 8 Jedi, but you stick a little girl as one of them and... Whoo! Oh no, that's why she's more powerful, isn't it? Yeah. Daphne Queen confirms Jackie Lon is crushing on Amandla Stenberg. Definitely gives her another few layers of power there. So as the fight goes on, she keeps getting hits on him and like kicking him and stuff, and it actually looks like he starts to be in trouble. She's always the one getting the hits in, though, if you notice. But then May runs off, and he chases her, despite the fact he's got 2 Jedi kicking his ass behind him. He can overpower her in the Force, but doesn't try and use it in the fight against the 2 people trying to kill him. I love the way he force pushed her into a rock, and the only thing that happened is, Once again, little girl, save May as well. Is the Jedi Master going to do anything at this point? And Osha, for a reason no one's worked out yet, just decides to go,
We have to go back. He's gonna kill them.
Duh! You knew that when you ran away. Why do you think he sent you away? You can't pretend to care now. I also like how he before was like, I will knock you out if you go back. And now he's realized she's gonna call my bluff and I can't. I'm a man. I'm not that powerful. At that moment, though, they hear noises of the flying insects above them. The ones that are attracted to light and try and kill anyone holding it. So Osha thinks, I'm just gonna beam some light on them and then they'll come and kill me instead. No one's particularly sure why they don't. Maybe she smells too awful or something. I don't know. She has been walking through a forest for several days.
Follow me.
Follow you? You're about to die. They're gonna piss and kill you. They attack light. You literally just told him for the same reason earlier.
Run!
Run? They can pissing fly. I've seen you run. You're not that fast. Back over at the fight with the Sith, and, well, she almost cut Sol's head off there. They're about to find out, though, why they should have split up on either side of him. As he just steps in the way and now she can't fight at all. I mean, unless you wanted to jab underneath. Once again, more headbutting lightsabers. This is stupid. And Sol finally gets the advantage. It turns out he's a better fighter without a lightsaber for some reason that... Why did we do that? Why are we hitting people in a helmet? Hit him in the chest. He doesn't have armor there. No, we're just going to keep punching him in the helmet designed to protect people from punches. And again, if you hit him in the stomach 3 times, it'll be a lot worse. He throws him over a gap, though, and then Little Midget decides, this is my opportunity. She goes straight after him on her own, despite the fact she's a useless Padawan, and he's a Jedi Master. That doesn't stop her, though, as she seems to have somehow leveled up. absolutely annihilating the guy that killed 8 Jedi Knights. To the point where he loses his helmet. And then he does what I've said I hate multiple times. I'm using one sword. I'm losing. Don't worry, now I've got 2. I'm still more powerful. Lose them from the pissing start. As he activates his second lightsaber out of the back of the other one. Clearly, he watches Ahsoka. Yes, there's 1, but that won't kill her. 3 will, though. If I was in this universe and realized how weak lightsabers were, I'd just go... It takes just as long, and you'd wipe out their entire chest. Come back from that. I dare you. No! No! Why did you just let your Padawan fight on her own? Well, you were just standing there. All the time she was fighting, he didn't move. No! I thought you could beat him, so I was just gonna sit here and have a cup of tea. Luckily, though, it does mean we're one annoying bint out of the way. And it reveals the guy who everybody already knew was a Sith. It's me, just like you all knew it was, because we made it really obvious. Which is why I don't think he's the reveal. I think it's Leslye Headland's wife, but here we are. At this point, I think we're all just hoping that at some point there will actually be a part of the story which wasn't telegraphed for 5-year-olds.
Was that its name?
I've seen that before.
There's a hot chick over there. I'm gonna go talk to it.
I'm actually kind of proud of him, though, as he is using neutral terminology. He, she, it.
Whose puzzle is he or they?
Was that its name?
He's actually genuinely progressive. That's why he's a Sith. But then he's like, you killed my Padawan. I'm gonna level up my sword skills.
She was a child.
Why are you sending a child to fight a Sith Lord, then?
You brought her here.
Based. He should have just gone, I couldn't stand her either. Now, at this point, he does the equivalent tactic of, look behind you, Master Soul.
Hello.
Yes, he basically treated him like a cat that was being annoying. If I turn off the lights, you'll shut up. Completely overpowers May with the Force. And he starts taunting her. You didn't even know it was me. Not even deep down. I mean, the audience did. Not only did you make it obvious in the previous episode, how come she didn't think, how can this guy beat me in a fight?
You really didn't know this was me.
Now, at this point, this is a Sith strangling a Sith. If I was a Jedi, I'd just stand there and wait for them to sort it out.
Not even deep down.
Soul, though, he wants to defend evil. Although he didn't do a very good job. Now, we've got a Sith holding a Sith hostage against a Jedi who doesn't care about either of the Sith. A hostage is supposed to be somebody who is valuable, that people want to protect. The Jedi want both of you gone.
You attacked me while my back is turned?
Yeah, you're a Sith Lord. It's what you deserve. You're more powerful than he is. It's his only chance. There is nothing wrong with this. Beamer in the head. Why should a Jedi care?
Not very Jedi of you.
No, that is Jedi of him. You're evil. I'm a Jedi. Jedi fight evil. All this, you can't strike down, it's nonsense. Never made any sense. Unfortunately, he's weak and pathetic. No, I must let evil survive for some reason. I mean, that was even more stupid. He didn't tell him to drop his lightsaber. He did that on his own.
What are you?
He's a Sith. Like, you must be the most thickest person in the universe. You learned to speak English for this role, but not basic Star Wars lore.
I have no name.
Said, what are you, not who are you, didn't he?
What are you?
I have no name.
Do you like milk? I really love pizza.
But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
Almost sounds like a question, doesn't it? I mean, you might call me Sith. You might call me a parallelogram. I'm not really sure. And at this point, you'd expect Sol to go, hang on, the Sith haven't been seen for a millennia. No. I mean, we already broke that once, but if you're gonna go the whole hog, you might as well take the piss while you're doing it.
Why risk discovery?
It's so weird. The fact that he didn't go, what's a Sith? Means that he did know what a Sith was. And if he knew what a Sith was, why didn't he know he was a Sith? Don't think about it. Turn your brain off. It'll be fine.
Well, I did wear a mask.
It's quite a good point, actually, isn't it?
I did wear a mask.
Yeah, but what he meant is, why did you attack us all? You'd already set May up for the murder of the Jedi. You could have just let them take her. You used an acolyte rather than attacking people yourself, presumably, so if she got caught, it wouldn't matter, as you didn't want to get revealed. And then you randomly revealed yourself and just went, well, you know, covered up my nose.
What do you want?
We're not thinking about his answers.
Freedom.
Oh, he's American. And there's a cheap joke, it's an Englishman, but I genuinely think that's where they're going. Freedom is evil.
The freedom to wield my power the way I like.
Tough. That means, I just want to be evil with no consequences.
The freedom to wield my power the way I like.
Can you see where this is going?
Without having to answer to Jedi like you.
And what did we set the Jedi up to be? The cops. We've set up an argument where to defend the idea of freedom, you'd have to defend an evil Sith. Rather than going, maybe there's a difference between like wanting to eat meat and just going around annihilating planets.
I want pupil.
You had one, mate. But then you started sending her around murdering people. I mean, that really was the problem in this scenario.
But this one went back on our deal.
Again, why is the evil person concerned with loyalty? This is stupid.
She exposed me.
What? No, she didn't.
I did wear a mask.
You explained why earlier. They knew she had a master because she'd been trained, and they'd already read her mind and found out, she doesn't know who he is because he's wearing a mask. She had no new information until you turned up and exposed yourself.
So now I have to kill every single last one of you.
The only reason you have to kill all of them is because you attacked them. This doesn't even make any sense. Hey, he is muscly though, isn't he? He didn't look like it in earlier episodes.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, you do. Unless he's not the Sith Lord and somebody else is, who happens to be green and has a whip. I tell you what though, he better not be the apprentice to another Sith Lord, given that he's so powerful he can take out 8 Jedi Knights at the same time.
The Jedi do.
Wait, what? How have the Jedi made rules that you can't have an acolyte, and how that if they see you, you have to kill or... What?
And the Jedi say I can't exist.
But that's because you're evil. You sent your apprentice to kill them, and so they came for you. If you'd left them alone, they would have left you alone. I know he's near Amandla Stenberg. Is she projecting her victimization complex onto him? Just anyone who stands near her suddenly becomes oppressed.
They see my face, they all die.
Because you decide to, you crazy bins.
Oh, look at you two, right back where you started.
Which doesn't make sense because that's none of what we saw. But it seems like someone, probably Leslye Headland's wife, who was also on that mission, but she wiped everyone's memories of it, was just holding a lightsaber to the children's faces, I guess. Either way, Yord comes in, force pulls the helmet, has his lightsaber destroyed by the guy's arm, stops the other guy's lightsaber with the helmet, and now we're in hand-to-hand. Now, at this point, you think Sol would come in with his perfectly functional lightsaber and end this? What is Sol doing during all of this? Because nobody else moved during the entire thing. Object permanence is a very important thing to have in a movie. Just because the camera isn't pointing at a character doesn't mean that character ceases to exist. They shouldn't just be standing still doing nothing in the middle of a fight between two other characters. Be like, oh, Yord's here now. Yord's got it. I'm a master. He's a knight. Don't worry. I'm sure he'll beat him hand to hand. How could I possibly have seen this coming? It does mean, though, that Yord, the weak, pathetic punchbag of a character who served absolutely no purpose except humiliation throughout the entire series, is now gone. So, every cloud. Honestly, Yord, I don't know how you pissed off Leslye Headland, but she despised your character. May, though, takes that opportunity to run. Osha decides, I'm gonna stun her. And May, rather than keeping on moving, dodging around trees, presenting as difficult a target as possible, has a different plan. I'm just gonna stop and stare at her. It's harder to hit a static target, don't you know? If only she'd kept on running for a few more seconds, she could have got behind that tree and taken cover. Unfortunately, she was an idiot. Sol, though, goes rage mode and starts to attack him with his fists. I don't know why, just use your lightsaber, mate. The other guy doesn't have one. You'll win. It was a nice uppercut, I'll give him that one. For some reason, Sol seemed to decide to headbutt his shoulder there. What did you think that was gonna do? Definitely headbutted his shoulder, but eventually he gets one up on him. Okay, why did we take that long to get our lightsaber, mate? Do we just like making life harder for ourselves? Now, my problem is, the moment he's about to give the Sith Lord what he deserves, the Sith Lord, which has just killed our entire party, yeah, take him down! Why did we stop just because a random wench called our name? Why? He's a Sith Lord! He's just wiped out all of your friends. Justice only happens one way here.
Trust him, even after everything he did to you.
Yeah, we're just going to keep hinting that actually there's a mystery. There's a mystery. I know I revealed the other previous mystery box, which I basically already told you about without the reveal, but there's another mystery box. But he says, I've accepted my darkness. Have you? I'd accept it as I drove the lightsaber through your neck right now, but apparently we can't do that for some reason that nobody really knows why. As he just stops, and I'm like, he's a Sith Lord! You can't let him go because then any action he does from this point on is solely and exclusively your fault. And at that moment, all the creatures that can fly catch up to them. And you're like, that took you a long time, didn't it? They were following Osha. She had a light beam, remember, to attract them and somehow didn't die from it. How did she get here this far in front of them? So she sees them in the sky as if, oh, look, they've appeared. You brought them here. This was your plan. I'm just wondering why they didn't attack earlier. And she goes, Sol, who then realizes and puts his lightsaber down. rather than just, I don't know, hitting him with it. We don't need the insects, mate. You're holding your weapon here.
The Jedi do not attack the unarmed.
What? He's a Sith Lord! He has the Force. He's never unarmed. And if you let him go, he will just wipe out everybody. Either way, Osha has a different plan, and this makes no sense. She rips her friend's head off again. She loves doing that. And he gets his weapon and like, okay, awesome. Now are you able to wipe him out, Soul? Because, like, he's a Sith Lord. Instead, she's like, hang on, I've got a plan.
I love you, Pip.
I love you, Pip. That's why I ripped your head off. This is how Hollywood treats everybody that we love. So she activates the light on him, sticks it on his back, and I'm like, hang on, thought you weren't supposed to attack the unarmed. Is it okay now because he's picked up his lightsaber?
This is bad. This is really bad.
So he's trying to, I can't get it off my back, I don't know what's happening. All of the things in the sky come down for him, and he's trying to cut him down, but eventually they do overwhelm him and carry him into the sky. And I'm like, hang on. It wasn't okay for Soul to kill him because that'd be really evil and mean. But if I stick a light on him and somebody else does, then that's fine.
That doesn't make any sense.
What? He's a Sith Lord, you're a Jedi, you can use your lightsaber on him, it's fine. When they cut Darth Maul in half, it was deserved, and it would have been here. But no, now he doesn't have blood on his hands because some insects did it for him. And she's like, why did he say I shouldn't trust you? What did you do? Why shouldn't I trust you? Like, hang on. You're taking the word of a Sith Lord over your own master. Absolutely no reason to trust this guy. He's just killed 8 of your friends. And he's like, don't worry, Osha, I'll explain to you. But then I guess Yord really should have taken that weapon off her after all. She loses it to anyone who's actually got power in this world, which is seemingly everyone except her. Now, it's worth noting, they're clearly in a certain place here. But then we get a screen wipe, we look at a random hill off into the distance, and suddenly we've transported to a different location. Why? Where's Soul? Why did you follow May, the evil twin? Wait, now you're dropping the gun anyway? Why are we in a different place? They're on the edge of a cliff now. I don't understand. We like, you've got to follow me, and then took the lead, and she followed you when you don't even have the weapon on her. Why was none of this shown? I don't get it. But now all that's over, obviously we're down to the script, which has always been high quality in The Acolyte.
What have you done? I did what I needed to do.
Oh, well done. Thank you for not explaining anything or ever answering a question.
For you, for our family.
I was killing all the Jedi for you. You don't care about your sister. You tried to burn her in fire.
Everything you have ever done has been for yourself.
Why didn't she go, you tried to set me on fire? But Osha says all those lives of the Jedi, they were all lost because of you.
The Jedi got what they deserved.
What? If you believed that, why did you betray your master who was going to give them what they deserved? You were going to hand yourself into them, and now you don't want to? And what? Oh, you should have stuck to the original plan. It's like, no, the Jedi invaded your home. Have you forgotten it? Because May, you were the violent one. You started the fire. And I would have been dead too if it wasn't for them, which is true because you set her room on fire.
They've brainwashed you.
Which is possible. Someone like Leslye Headland's wife implanted false memories or something. I said that before.
They've turned you against me.
The thing is, if that is true, she shouldn't be talking like this. Like, hang on, that's not what happened. Someone has affected your memories. I didn't set any fire. Would be how you respond to someone going, you set everything on fire and tried to kill... No, I didn't. I didn't do any of that. Why do you think that? But we don't talk like people. This is Hollywood. We're not even sure they're people. Don't worry, Osha, though. I can save you. I can help you. I can help you return to yourself. You can choose me, Osha. You don't have to choose them again. I've just realised she's wearing chainmail and a breastplate. Very medieval of you. But Osha has clearly been watching Doctor Who as she starts crying and decides, no, I'm going to side with the Jedi rather than you, May.
You're a criminal, May.
True.
You must pay for your crimes.
Even May can't disagree with that, surely. Turns out, though, Osha can't fight, and so May just immediately flips it around on her. And she starts going, oh, but the Jedi, they don't have love and family. What kind of life is that? That seems to be the only way of, oh, actually, we're morally grey. Which is going, the Jedi are awful because they don't let you have a family. Leslye, you don't have one anyway. You do realise this argument doesn't make sense in modernity? If you'd gone, the Jedi are evil because they make you live alone with cats and SSRIs, your entire target demographic would be going, that's like me, that is. No wonder we're the good guys. You actually can't use a traditional message in a show like this because of the people creating it and the target demographic you're aiming at, rather than the one of Star Wars. But May has a hidden power. Hadouken! Knocks her off a very small incline, and then, for the most stupid scene ever to have been shown in Star Wars, you may think I'm exaggerating, you won't in a second, she gets her lightsaber. And at this point I'm like, is that going into your neck? Because we were close. She almost started a bushfire. Hairdressing, folks! I did briefly hope she'd cut off her own face. But I'm just glad that all of those burnt bits of hair on her face didn't set the rest of it on fire. This also does raise a problem with earlier in the series, you know, when everyone was going around pretending that they were identical, and none of them went, hang on, you've got much longer hair than you did this morning. I actually always do this after a haircut as well. What was that supposed to... I've cut my hair! And now people will know me different. Like, what? Why were you so dramatic about your hair? I'm slightly less of a mop now. It's just a mop. Obviously, though, the Sith Lord survived because it's just a few bugs. Sol really should have just taken him out and saved a load of people's lives. We have the little tracker following him, going, oh, I found the droid. Sol wakes up and Osha is here.
Where is she?
Who?
Who do you think? How many people do you think the word she would apply to in this scenario?
Your sister.
Duh!
She's gone.
She's gone. It's just me now. Look, I've got the right level hair. They head back to the ship, though, and it's just the two of them out of everyone that landed on the planet, with the sniffer dog following them. And presumably is like, hang on, this droid doesn't smell like her. And he comes along, grabs his helmet, finds Osha, just in case you were too thick to understand that the other person had swapped places with her. He force heals her side, flips her over.
Even in the revelation of our triumph, you see the depth of our despair.
I don't know what that meant either. But what, is he going to take Osha, reveal her memory block, and be like, oh, Sol did it. It was the Jedi all along. And then she's going to turn evil and go and attack them until he convinces her, no, you were my family. I didn't mean to. Oh, it's going to get very soap opera, I think. It's going to get very, very soap opera. Now, in this episode, was it the best one? Yes. Why? Well, I mean, there was lightsaber fights in it. All the time they're lightsaber fighting, despite any problems with the choreography or how stupid headbutting a lightsaber is, it does mean that during that, they're not talking, which means the story isn't going forwards, which means there isn't any problems with it. Once again, this was an episode that started and ended basically at the same place. It was one long fight scene, and a load of people whose motivations keep flipping backwards and forwards, and you can't track anything. I wanted to surrender to the Jedi. Now I don't want to surrender to the Jedi. Now I'm going with the Jedi. I want to be with the sister. I don't want to be with the sister. Now I'm taking her place so I can follow him to kill him again, despite the fact that in the last episode I decided I didn't want to kill him, which is why my master turned on me in the first place, despite the fact that now I'm doing what the master actually wanted me to do. So why did I betray him? And what? This television is definitely aired for people who are ironing clothes. It's on in the TV, but you're busy doing something else and occasionally look up and look at it. It's not designed to be watched and concentrated on, because if you track the characters, nothing makes sense. Everyone goes back on what they wanted and flip multiple times, because I think they think that's twists and turns. That makes it interesting. But because there's no reason for anyone to do any of this, it doesn't make any sense and it's really annoying to watch. And quite frankly, promising that you're going to explain it in the future isn't enough, because I have a feeling this will end up much like Doctor Who, where when you get the answer, it's worse than the mystery. As let's face it, as proven by the reveal in this episode, we already have proof of that, because all the theory crafting and ideas that the audience puts forwards as possibilities are better than anything the show does. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. And bye-bye.